Okay, so let me put you on something else real quick. Okay, I know it's crazy, but there's this idea of maybe consciousness is a quantum field or like a state, right? And that's why it's like so unique, and it feels like it starts and finishes, and you're in like this state of like perfect, like you're conscious just for a small amount of time in a like cosmological scale. So there's this like idea that basically in quantum computing, what the idea is like you send something in, you tell it to do something, and it does all this computing, but you can't see what's going on.
Right.
But it'll spit out results, and somehow they've been able to manage to make those results make sense to them in the form of qubits, right? And qubits are like snapshots of the quantum system flashing out like results, right? But they're like only little slices of what's actually happening. So let me try and explain it in terms of our consciousess. When I say words, right, I'm conveying a snapshot of meaning of my quantum state, of the concept in my head. So when I say, I love my brother or something, my love is not explained by...
the snapshot of the words you just said.
Yeah, my love, I say love to convey a very complex thing that I cannot replicate in your consciousness. I can't replicate my consciousness in your consciousness. Right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I say, oh, I hate my enemy or I love my brother, right? It's like I'm giving you a snapshot of so much more.
Right.
Right? And that's what quantum computers might be doing as well, where it's like there's so much more that they're understanding. They have a conscious state of what they're calculating, but they can only give it to you in symbols, right? And that's what we do with language. Symbols convey a broader meaning, and when you combine them in certain ways, you can get really nuanced, like philosophical writings and shit, you know, and like maybe even rich fictional worlds and whatever, you know. But it's like how detailed can you go with your definitions, and how detailed, like, because each word has a fixed, you know, not a fixed definition. It can be stretched and stuff, but it's like it's pretty defined. When I say, you know, red or gray, like, right. you know what I'm referencing for the most part. There's some things that are like angst. That's a little bit more of a nuanced, or nostalgia. That's a pretty nuanced word that defines like, oh, the pain that you feel when you think of something that happened a long time ago. That's way more like distinct than even something like it's more complex in distinguishing something about reality, right?
It's kind of the same feeling, but it means a different thing for everybody.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a theory by Federico Faggin, the quantum consciousness. It's been worked on by other people, but it's by this guy who's involved with the fucking ASML. They're like huge in the semiconductor industry. It's really weird, but I watched these fucking lectures and it kind of changed my perspective on like what I actually think is going on cosmologically with reality. You know?
How so?
I think that it's possible that human consciousness is not a result of Newtonian physics. It's a result of quantum physics. And I think that consciousness is more foundational than any physical reality, which includes our verbal manifestations with words, or like literally the material reality beneath our feet. I think that is less real than our experience. Our experience is like literally undeniable, so like you can't doubt that you are experiencing. So it actually seems like consciousness might be something fundamental to like reality as a whole, you know?
Versus...
Which means you are kind of... Huh?
Sidewalk?
Yeah,
it's this way. All right.
Yeah, this is a sidewalk.
I think so.
Yeah, probably. This might be someone's house, though. Like I don't know. Might be a garage or something. You might be able to check it out, but... Yeah.
Knock on their door for us.
Yeah, you too. That scared me. I was like, take my...
No. Would have all been recorded.
Dude! Start running. I just fall down I drop it, it rolls down in Lombard. Nah, but So, like, the ultimate, like, conclusion of the theory is that, real quick, the ultimate conclusion of the theory is that we're basically, like, our conscious perception, like, there's something that, like, I can't deny that you're also conscious, right? Which is weird, right? But we're basically the same substance defined in an individual kind of manifestation, right? Does that make sense? So, like, we're the same substance. Like, say we're both sand, but we're different sandcastles.
Okay.
Right? And we can look at each other and observe each other because of this distinction.
Right.
But we are ultimately both the observer and the observed of each other. But we are of the same substance. So we're like the observer observing itself. Does that make sense? Like, we are the observer observing itself. All of this is a manifestation of the same source, this energy. Right? Light, electrons, quarks that ultimately manifest in very complex physical fields, physical materials even, right? But ultimately it all comes from the same place. It's like this light that behaves by quantum mechanics, right? It's just very complex and it's very concentrated when it becomes a metal or but ultimately it behaves in quantum ways, like binding of chemicals. Or like, you'll have electrons that are in a quantum state every time they, make a new metal, So it's all coming down to this, like, this light behavior between itself, right? And we might be a very complex quantum field that's able to actually, bounce material ideas off of, each other. But we are ultimately like an observing thing that's in a field state. Like continuing to absorb information, but also able to, I guess, produce it. So we're like an organic quantum computer, basically. Like, because we can think of information, but we can also package it and give it out, and kind of throw it into the universe to be observed. That's what I mean by, like, all these inventions around us are our manifestation of, like, our output. But all of it happened within our observing. So we are essentially little robots that are further complexifying the universe so that it can further observe itself and its complexities. That's what I imagine is happening. And from there, I actually have built some really interesting ethics of my own when it comes to, like, what's the right thing to do. Because I think you want to, like, destruction and, like, complete annihilation of complexities is, like, ultimately wrong. So, like, murder is wrong, right? Because murder would be wrong if, like, if the ultimate goal of the universe is to observe its harmonious states. Then right. You are an agent of chaos that destroys and disrupts.
Right.
Ultimately, that's wrong, right?
So,
like, if you give away a bunch of money and make everybody reach their potential, that's a good thing in my view, honestly. Right. This is my honest, like, worldview, like my from cosmology up, bro. Like, if you're really gonna do it, like, you gotta think about it from the ground up. And in my estimation, honestly, because it's like,
no, that is a really fair point.
Because everybody builds their fucking theories like, oh well, the Bible said it. Right. It's like, okay, bro, you did not think about it. Because if you're logically thinking about ethics, how do you honestly argue it? And that's how I would argue it. I'm glad I got it all on video. And it genuinely has to do with the cosmological fact that we are from the same substance.
Which is almost undeniable. It's
undeniable, and you can't deny it because of that whole quantum consciousness theory that I feel like. Because the one thing that, like, literally Descartes said it, and it's one of the most hailed, like, truths in Western philosophy. So if anything's going to be an authority in this matter, right, at least Descartes, said, I think, therefore I am, bro. You cannot deny that you exist as a foundational thing in reality. It's not just true in the words. It's, like, literally true in just, like, you cannot deny it. It's true beyond the words. It's true in the quantum state, like, in the fucking conscious, like, conceptualization of logical truths. It is just true in your mind, right? You cannot deny that you exist because you exist. And honestly, from that, I can almost feel like I can't deny that you exist, that your conscious state exists. So you know that the observer is essentially you, like, or the observed is you, like you are the same.
But
like even a dog or something, you can't deny that it's like both producing complexities and understanding them. Like even a plankton. I don't know.
So, given your worldview, is it
wrong to eat animals?
Is it wrong to eat plants?
Is it wrong to eat plants? So here's the thing. I think that here's where it gets kind of hairy.
There's a beneficial in eating that because you're giving substance to a superior complexity.
That's what I was thinking. Is that we have unlocked such a way of perhaps understanding we having this conversation right now has complexified the universe in unimaginable, infinite ways. If you think about it, because everything is changed by what we just said.
So if there was a more efficient being here on Earth that was more efficient at increasing the complexities
that if humans
of the universe,
had to die to do it,
would they? Yeah, would
that be ultimately?
Would you say that we no longer have a reason to exist?
But I think that as long as you aren't taking action to destroy the universe's complexities in those ways, because really all complexity, any complexity at all, is ultimately equal to any other complexity, right? It's not like you can get any more complex because the universe is obviously infinitely complex.
Okay,
right?
So then is it wrong to
But to destroy is a very unique thing compared to that.
Are we destroying the complexity of a plant when we eat it, or are we repurposing it to further the need to survive?
Are we destroying? Here, come this way.
Are we destroying complexities by eating plants? Because those are all, like, your argument says that they're all, infinitely complex. It's equal to us.
Yeah, so can't we even... I think that there is an extent to which my cosmological philosophy of ethics does
get a little gray.
But I think
it is an interesting theory.
It from the ground up, yes, ultimately you are doing something kind of wrong.
Wrong, but
not necessarily.
Not necessarily because
not productive.
If we were to not eat plants,
what is it called? It's
animals,
like law of equivalent exchange.
Right. We would cease to exist, therefore.
But then, does that infect your whole ethical theory at that point, though?
Now,
does it go all the way down the thing and say, hey, okay, well, these people got to die because for whatever further complexity, you're dead.
Right. So
I don't know.
So then, would you go back in time and kill Hitler?
Yeah, because he was just an agent of fucking destruction and chaos. I feel like it's pretty intuitive as well. Like, if you just follow your fucking soul, like, what just feels unproductive and what feels productive. Like, right, like trans people, for example. People really just this is an ethical issue for people. So,
right.
Like, for example, what are they doing beyond their own reasonable realm of sovereignty? Just doing their art, basically. Because life is like doodling, right? Yeah. Everybody's just doodling their doodle, right?
Like, no one
if your doodle doesn't fuck over somebody else, then you're pretty much not an agent of chaos.